Memento is the wait. We're getting there. We're getting there. Getting there. Come on, YouTube, catch up. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining us here on our live stream. Of course, when we're not live here, we're over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here. We are live on Radiance of the Seas, hanging out here on we're in the Solarium today. And hope you had a great Monday. We're going to answer as many Royal Caribbean cruise questions as possible, starting with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Check your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. My next countdown, what's today? Monday? So Tuesday, Wednesday. 5 more days until I go on my first celebrity cruise, Celebrity Apex, on Saturday. So 5 more days till my next cruise, which is great. We had a ton of super chats already before the broadcast began. So let me try to catch up with that over here. First of all, James Bushik, thank you for the super chat. James has like 17 questions for me. So I'm going to rattle through these as fast as possible. James says, Matt, I've learned a lot from Royal Caribbean Blog. However, I'm new to cruising. I have several questions. Thanks for your help. I'll scan the cruise compass for Royal Caribbean Blog. Thank you, James. All right. Oh, I lost James's question. Hold on. I had it all set up, James. I got them again. Here they are in no particular order. Do SeaPass cards have holes to attach lanyards? No, but you can ask for them from guest services. On Mariner, how do I get distilled water in a neti pot? I don't know. That's a good question. Usually distilled water is only available for like CPAP machines on special requests. So I'm not sure. You go the Google Royal Caribbean Special Needs form, and you'll find it over there. On Mariner, is the cruise compass printed daily or just once for the whole cruise? Daily. On Mariner, is there any place that generally the geography nerd can find relevant maps and G-charts? No. Where can I find the smoothies at Kemblewick Sandwich? They don't have a park cafe on board, so you can't. Sorry. Does the unlimited dining package include food from Bamboo Room? It does not. Is it possible to order main dining room dish from a specialty restaurant? It is not. No. What is the best way to order takeout from a specialty restaurant and the MDR? You cannot order takeout from the main dining room other than going there and be like, hey, can I take this back to the room? For a specialty restaurant, you just got to ask. Izumi's usually pretty good with it. Others are more hit or miss. If I have a limited drink package, which covers up drinks to $14 and I order a $15 drink, will I be charged $1 or $15? $1. Are there any grocery stores close to the port in Costa Maya, Cozumel? Not in Costa Maya. In Cozumel, La Mega is where you want to go. There you go. Thanks, James, for the super chat. Also, James says, one more super chat. Please give a shout out to Johnny Two Shoes for inviting me my first cruise. They call him because he wears 2 shoes. Okay. Thank you. I'll scan the compass. Awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. Desiree Hall, thank you for the super chat. Mojito Man, 48 days till Anthem of the Seas for New Year's Eve. Is there any news on the possible return of the rock tribute bands on Oasis and Quantum class ships? I mean, I don't have any news to share with you on that, Mojito Man. Thank you for the super chat. The entertainment schedule for any cruise is just, you really don't know it until maybe a couple days before you're sailing, and then it's printed in the, or not printed, it's in the Royal Caribbean app, but there's rarely any kind of announcements or schedules available in advance on that. So, AD, thank you for the super chat. If I book a cruise and my wife is unable to make the trip, would I be able to get double points as opposed to sailing solo, even in a suite? So in a suite, you get double points, obviously. What you're talking about is the extra point for sailing solo. And Royal Caribbean's rule today, these days, in a situation, if your wife no-shows, you won't get extra points for sailing solo. That used to be the case. It's no longer the case. If you were to remove your wife from the reservation anywhere from 30 days before the sailing or earlier than that, then you could get the extra point. So I hope that makes sense. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Sailing on Freedom in April. We currently have a South Beach Cabana booked, but considering changing to a Hideaway Beach Cabana, have there been any new announcements that make the area different from Oasis Lagoon? No, there's been no new announcements. Thank you for the super chat. As of right now, what we've already reported on is still what to expect. I mean, the reason to book a Hideaway Beach Cabana is because you want to be in an adults-only area. Now, I might argue, well, Oasis Lagoon tends to really skew adult anyway, so it's not like it's that kiddie-friendly, but If that's important to you, that's basically the main difference. Otherwise, it's negligible differences there. So no new announcements on that part. Let's see here. I think let me see. Oh, that was Sean's question right there. Sorry, Sean, I could have showed your message the entire time, but glad to have you here. I'm back on the back in the chat here. See, Pascal is in our chat. Hello, Pascal. It is good to see you. Lots of people in the chat. Desiree is here. Michelle Prose, the Teresa McChain in the house. Jeff, pass me another beer. Burns. How are you, Jeff? JC, thank you for the super chat. Is it worth a taxi ride at Cable Beach or another beach just to save some money by walking to Junkanoo? Thanks for your advice. Good question. And he's talking about Nassau, or I assume it's a he. JC's talking about Nassau. Junkanoo you can walk to. That's the beach that basically, if you get out of the cruise port, take a right and keep walking, you'll eventually run into Junkanoo Beach. It's not a bad beach at all. Cable Beach and Cabbage Beach, by extension, are arguably prettier beaches. They're a little more pristine. The biggest issue when you go out of Junkanoo is the lack of service you're going to get. Like if you want, to have a drink stand, or you want to have chairs and umbrellas available, you can rent those and get those things, obviously, in Junkanoo. It may be more hit or miss at other beaches. So is it worth it? It depends on how important it is to you to find I don't want to say like a more pristine beach, but a less busy beach, certainly. And of course, the services that are there. So that's kind of more a personal question, subjective, really, than anything else. What would I do? I'd go to Cable Beach, but that's just me because I personally like that. I want to find the prettiest beach I could possibly find. Not that Junkanoo is not pretty, but relatively speaking. Mike thinks distilled water is available through special needs. Thank you. That's what I know it's not available otherwise, like just on, hey, can I please get some distilled water and a slice of pizza? One of those you can get. Hint, it's the pizza. Let's see here. Kim Oakland is here. Welcome, Kim. Tony Diaz is here. Brian Wall, hello from Odyssey of the Seas Casino Royale Bar. Brian, I am shocked you're at the casino. I really could never have seen that coming there. Hope you are well, my friend. Another Brian. Brian, thank you for the super chat. Do I see a message from this Brian? I do not, but I'll keep an eye out for it. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. Dave E., thank you for the super chat. 95 Days of Harmony of the Seas. Is there a shuffleboard tabletop version? No. There is shuffleboard available on. Is it the jogging track? There's one of those little alcoves over there. It's definitely available on Harmony, but a tabletop version. I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna go with no, unless it's a reference to something I just completely forgot about or don't know about. Jeff, thank you for the super chat. I just got off Harmony of the Seas on November 12th, and I learned not to order a double on a drink package. Why? Wait. I learned not to order a double on a drink package. Is that like I drink too much kind of words for wisdom kind of thing? That sounds like that sounds like a good idea anyway. you can always sleep it off at home, but you gotta have a good time on a cruise. Now, if you got charged extra or something like that, that's a different story, obviously. Sam says, Matt, you're gonna love Apex. See all 3 theater production shows, plus 3 different Eden shows, and the show in the club, Caravan. All right, well, this is great. I did not know about this. Let me know in the comments, guys. Type in the chat if you've been on Celebrity Apex. What are the must-dos that I must do when I go on Apex? Because I've done purposely very little research, but now I'm getting a little worried. So I feel like maybe I should do some research. So you guys are going to guide me here. So right now I know I need to see every single show that Sam recommended there. Katie says, what do you think they will do about the level 4 do not travel to Haiti? Nothing. Labadee, while it is in Haiti, is in a far remote, walled off area of Haiti. It's in Haiti in the academic sense of the word, but it's not really in Haiti in the same way that the State Department warning is about, where that really means like don't like book a flight and fly to Haiti. Labadee is in a remote peninsula that is literally walled off from the rest of the country. If you ever go over there, there's barbed wire. It's in a very remote area. So not to say that there's no risk involved. There's risk anywhere you travel. But Katie, there's not going to be any change, and I would not expect any change related to your trip. Let's see here. Next question. Dwayne is on board a cruise right now, having a great time on Independence of the Seas. Awesome. Hope you have a great time on Indy. Love that ship.
He's the blogger.
Hello. How are you? Tyler, would you recommend Maya Chan for excursion for kids? Yes, absolutely. I bring my kids there all the time. They love it. It's a great spot for kids. Absolutely. Next question is from Ralph. Hi, on Allure of the Seas in the main dining room. Hope the weather is better than they were for. Wait, what? Hope the weather is better than where you are. Rotating sea and port days due to weather. Having a great time. We had really nice weather today in Costa Maya. They were calling for bad weather, and it was really nice. So I hope we get more of the same tomorrow. But enjoy the main dining room. Order a spaghetti bolognese for me. Next question. Nick, what's the best beach in Labadee? They're all pretty much the same. If I have a preference, I would go to Nellie's Beach. Next question. Jennifer, how long did you get on the ship? When I got to Port Tampa at like 11:30, there was no wait at all. They already boarded the ship, so I just kept on walking. It was really, really easy. Next question is from Beverly Byer. Beverly, thank you for the super chat. Thanks, Matt, for the great recommendation from Maya Chan. We had a great stay. Your Radiance groups, Tim and Bev. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. They happen to be sitting right over there in the in our glorious audience that we have here. Let's see. Lanina, any updates on Utopia? No, still under construction. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, Icon of the Seas is going to dominate all the updates. I would not expect many Utopia updates until well past January when the Icon hype subsides. It won't. 2024 is going to be the year of Icon of the Seas, and Utopia will also show up there. But there's no new updates. No news is not bad news either, so don't take it like that. Let's see here. Scott wants to know, does Royal Caribbean still have priority boarding lanes at first boarding for Crown and Anchor members? They don't. That went away with after the pandemic when Royal Caribbean restarted operations. That never came back, and I think they would basically say that they don't need it because the boarding has become quite efficient and actually more efficient since 2020. So, but no, it's not available anymore as an option. Mike Bailey checking in from the Navigator of the Seas. Anything to report of Vallarta? Yes. Book something in advance. This may be a little late for you, Mike, because you're already on the ship. But there's so many great beaches to go to. A lot of great beach resorts. I am struggling to remember the name of the place we went to. We booked one through Royal Caribbean. It was actually really nice. It was so nice. I can't remember the name. Darn it. But I would just have a plan in place. There's a lot of great beach resorts. So it's definitely important you want to get out there and go do something. It's a great city. Lots to do. So find somewhere that's going to take you to one of those amazing beaches and enjoy your time there. Let's see here. Will, thank you for the super chat. 90 days till Harmony of the Seas over Valentine's Day, considering a nice jeweler purchase to mark the cruise. Is there a dollar amount that you can use a credit card versus the Sea Pass? No? They're one and the same in a lot of ways. Remember, everything on the Sea Pass card goes back to your credit card you have on file. So in theory, you can charge anything on the Sea Pass card. There's a daily limit, but I think if they'll work with you on that one. But anyway, long story short, whatever you charge against your Sea Pass card goes back against your credit card. And even if you wanted to, you can't go into a shop on board the ship and be like, here's my credit card. Can I please pay for this jewelry or anything? They won't take it. It's all against your Sea Pass card. If I'm understanding your question correctly. I'm not sure I am. Oh, thank you.
I love it. You always have something interesting to say.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You heard that, Tony? Something interesting to say.
That's right.
I love that. You hear it, Tony.
There you go, Tony. Oh, goodness. I love it. You guys are awesome. Sasha, thank you for the super chat earlier. Sasha said, any recommendations for St. Thomas, St. Martin? St. Thomas, go to Magens Bay. If you've never been to St. Thomas before, go to Magens Bay. If you've been to Magens Bay before, go to any tour that takes you to St. John. It is that beautiful. St. Martin. Well, I did a video recently where I told you not to go to Maho Beach. Orient Beach is a great choice. I'd probably go there. That's probably my go-to recommendation. Ralph wants to know, how is Radiance of the Seas? Where am I? Radiance of this class. It's a great ship. Really, having a really nice time. So it's a wonderful ship. You picked well. Eek, Mouse. How does the pricing for Izumi work? So there's two choices at Izumi. I'm assuming you're meaning, yeah, I think you're talking about the sushi because there's hibachi, which is something different. But on the sushi side, you have two choices. One is to pay a la carte, where you order whatever you order and you pay for each item individually. The other is a fixed price menu in which you pay, I think it's now $39.99, and that includes like an appetizer or two, an entree or two, and a dessert. I do not recommend the fixed price. The problem with the fixed price is that there's two problems with it, I think. One, you're getting half portions on the sushi, which is really important. And number two, you are paying for dessert, which I would argue you could get somewhere else. The dessert in Izumi is good, but not like, wow, I need to spend $5 less on my meal to get a dessert here. That makes sense? So I would rather have that in sushi or something else on the menu. So long story short, get the pay a la carte. And I think that's exactly the way to go there. Tom Stidman. Thank you, Tom, for the super chat. If you don't have a car for Port Canaveral, is it better to stay at MCO Orlando or near Port Canaveral? What would you recommend? I generally tell people this. If you're coming into Orlando and you're flying in and your flight gets in at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, something like that, just stay in Orlando, get a hotel. You're just going to go to bed, hang out in the room, and then go to bed, right? And the next morning go to the cruise. So I'd stay in Orlando because there's more hotels and there's probably going to be a cheaper hotel in Orlando, like cheaper as in price, not quality, and just stay there. But if you're saying, well, no, Matt, I'm coming in a little earlier than that. I'm coming in in the morning or in the afternoon, and more importantly, we want to go to the beach or go to do something, Kennedy Space Center. I don't know what it would be. Then you want to say Cocoa Beach because there's more to do over there, obviously, for that. But if it depends on what your goals are, frankly. So Orlando is a great choice to stay there to save money, especially if you're not planning on doing much. But for the reason to Cocoa Beach is because you want to have a bit of a pre-cruise fun near the beach, either going to the beach itself or going to Kennedy Space Center, you're going to Cocoa Beach, or you're going to, and I can't remember the name of that store. There's a lot of shops in Ron John's, thank you. In Cocoa Beach you can go to. So it depends on what your priorities are. Really not that funny. Great name. Any tips for getting a cheaper room for 3 people sharing? Kind of dumb at $300 more for the same room. Well, it's interesting. When you pay, forget the room. When you book any cruise, the first 2 people have the highest charges, right? And then passengers 3 or 4 in the same cabin, their charge, regardless of their age, is fairly negligible. So you say $300 is dumb. It's basically nothing. If you look at the room charges, you're going to see passenger 1 paid, I'm going to make up numbers here, $1,000. Passenger 2, another $1,000. And then passenger 3 is $300. So no, actually, that is still the most economical option out there. There's no other way around it. The only way around it, I should say, is if the passenger 3 is a child under the age of 12, and you qualify for one of the sailings that fits under kids sail free. But I'm going to guess that probably doesn't fit your particular criteria. We are on Radiance of the Seas. Radiance of the Seas. I need a drink of water here when we catch up with the next question. Nicholas wants to know, how do I feel about Adventure of the Seas? I found a cruise on here for 2025. Voyager class ship. I like the Voyager class, so I say book it. Let's see. Next question is from Matt Travis. I saved over $200 by canceling my excursion and rebooking through the sweet early Black Friday deals they have currently. Great advice. Appreciate all you do. You're very welcome. I'm so glad to hear you save some money. That's awesome, dude. Smoky Bandit. Tom, what's up, man? So tabletop shuffleboard is what you often see in bars these days. I thought Navigator had it at Playmakers. Oh, yeah. No, sorry. I just was thinking shuffleboard, like, you know, the old classic C-Day activity. But yes, thank you, Tom, for translating for me. Let's see here. Holly wants to know, what is the point of checking in early? The point of checking in early is pretty simple. It's to save you time in the terminal. Because everything you do by checking in early for your cruise, that means less time you're spending in the cruise terminal. So take your selfie photo, scan your passport rather, fill in all information, put a credit card down. It's going to make the check-in process a lot faster. Hey, Sean, thank you again for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you for answering my previous question. Have you been to Baja Mar? If so, how does it compare to Atlantis Aquaventure? I have been to Baja Mar, but when I was there, actually, it was right before the water park opened. So I don't have any, I can't give you a comparison. I will say this much. The Atlantis Aquaventure is redonkulously expensive. Like, I keep looking at the pricing and I'm just like, wow, that is just very expensive. Let's put it this way, Sean, if I was going to Nassau tomorrow, I would take my family and we had to pick one, I would pick Baja Mar. Baja Mar is a beautiful resort. Not only is it a casino, but there's lots of dining. They have a beautiful water park. I would go to Baja Mar if it were me. Atlantis is, I don't say resting on its laurels, but it's Atlantis. It's got the name recognition. Not that Baja Mar is a nobody, but I think that's really what kind of drives that price more than anything. Let's see here. Sasha, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you. I found it, Sasha. Can we book single days for the internet package on board? Yes, but you'll pay more per day. So on board the ship, I believe it's $29.99 for a 24-hour pass. Whereas if you bought a full duration pass, the per day charge drops dramatically. But yes, you absolutely can. Thank you for the super chat. There, Fox from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Fox. Hope you and your super duper bougie client Jen Green from MEI Travel are doing well. Ralph G. Ralph, thank you for the super chat. I'm also looking for your message, Ralph. Ralph. I'm looking, Ralph. Well, I will keep an eye out for it. I don't see it right now. Robert wants to know, why are certain specialty restaurant reservations so much more expensive on holiday nights? Basically, it's because it's a holiday and they can charge more for it because they're going to get the money for it. You're not missing something there, Robert. On holidays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Labor Day, maybe not Labor Day, I don't know about that. But basically, there's more demand for specialty restaurants. People say, wow, it's a holiday. Wouldn't it be great to celebrate our special day at a specialty restaurant? And it drives up demand. So we're looking at figures, we'll charge more for it. But that's essentially what it boils down to. Mark wants to know, if I'm not happy with my balcony room, can I ask for an upgrade for a suite? No. You can ask, and they're going to say no. Once you're on board the ship, first of all, the cruise ship's pretty much sail full. So available rooms are at a premium. Suites are definitely sold out. So if you're waiting to the ship and be like, I don't like my room, I want to have a suite, there's no chance of that being an option to upgrade to. The only chance you've got is pre-cruise, if there's still rooms available for you to change your mind. But I think you're asking really like, you get there and you're like, oh, this room is too small, I'd like a bigger room. Yeah, no, that's not an option. Next question. Mark wants to know, do you use a new photo every time you check in on your phone, or use the same one? I always take new photos. I find I have a great wall in my office that is totally boring. Stand in front of there, take the photo, and we're good to go. Actually, in my house, it's like a mugshot in a police station. Everybody like we're gonna take photos for the cruise, everybody, and they all get up and they stand in front of the wall, turn to your left, smile. Yeah, I take new photos every time. Seriously. Bill, thank you for the super chat. Sailing on Anthem of the Seas in 132 days, 3 to 4 hour drive from Baltimore to Cape Liberty. Should I go up the night before, get a room, or drive the day of? I would drive up the night before. I mean, listen, you live in Baltimore. You know what 95 can be like. Some days there's nothing. Some days it is the end of the world. So my advice to you is to go up there the night before. Take the stress out of it. You really don't want to wake up that morning and have to worry, is there going to be an accident? Is there going to be a snowstorm? Is there going to be a deer in the road? Is Tony Diaz going to be blocking up traffic? Don't take that risk. Definitely just go up the night before. Yeah, it costs more to have a hotel room, but look at it this way. You start your vacation a little bit earlier with less stress. Let's see here. Next question. Miller time. Thank you for the super chat. On the first day of the cruise, can you check out the table location in the main dining room? Yes, absolutely. So once you get onto the ship and you get your SeaPass card, on the bottom it will have your room number, or your table. It'll have your room number there too. It'll have your table number that you in the main dining room, and that's actually a great tip. Go over there and check it out. Could you have it moved to a better location, perhaps with a $20 tip? You can do that even without the tip. But yes, absolutely. You can speak to the head waiter, and they can facilitate that for you. Absolutely. We do this all the time. You know, are we sitting with other people? Are we sitting with our friends? So yeah, it's a great idea, actually. Let me get a drink of water here. Chief Traveler. We're going on Anthem of the Seas in December. Is there any way we can look at the current cruise companies to get an idea of what we'll have on our cruise? The best you can do, there's a little bit of a hack. And you can't see the cruise compass. You can see the Royal Caribbean app. If you go to your cruise and I'm on the ship. I should be able to do this right now. Open up the Royal Caribbean app and you click on your profile. I just did this the other day. Then you basically go to the Royal Caribbean app, go to your profile, click on select a different cruise. And then if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see, wait, is this the option? No, that's the option. Oh. Yeah, I found it. Okay, never mind. This wasn't right. So go to let me try this again. One more time. Go to your profile. Click on, what did I click on to get here? I've now lost it. This is a long answer. I'm going to get this for you. All right, click on your profile, the little dude in the top right. Click on select a different cruise. Scroll all the way to the bottom. There's an option that says, don't see your cruise? Let's add it now. Click on that. Scroll all the way to the bottom there. You'll see browse our ships. Click on that. And then you can click on the list of ships that are there, and you'll see the next 4 or 5 cruises, sailings. Click on that, and you can see the entertainment. That's the best option you got there. That was a long way for that one. I knew there was a way to do it. Let's see here. Next question. Hey, Scary. Ratings of the Seas is the best scooter bar in the fleet. The ratings class in general, yes, I agree with that. It's really, really nice. Love it. La Nina 0321, thank you for the super chat. Is there priority boarding and any other resources for autistic adults? Good question. I don't know specifically if there is a option in that, in the sense that, like, is there someone that you can like flag down in the term like, hey, we need extra help in there? Obviously, if you need extra help, they can assist you with that. I'm just not sure that I've never gone through that process myself. I know of a group that organizes cruises for folks that are autistic called Autism on the Seas. They do a great job. That is a specific like sailing. We get to book that in advance, as opposed to I'm going on Ratings of the Seas next week and I want to be able to have support for that. Suffice to say, if you need extra help in the terminal, don't be afraid to reach out. People can certainly help you and give you some more, always point you in the right direction there. But I don't have any firsthand experience with that, so I don't want to pretend that I can give you the exact expectation of what may or may not happen. So it's kind of a lame answer, but I'm also not afraid to say sometimes I don't know. So I'm not exactly sure what to expect there. Nick Wong. Nick, thank you for the super chat. 76 days till Odyssey. Any recommendations for Falmouth or just explore on the ship? Man, Falmouth is one of those ports I have yet to find anything that I would really say, yes, that is a good thing to do there. No, I hate to say it. I don't have anything good on that. Maybe the chat can help. Also, any recommendations for Giovanni's Wine Bar for food? Yes, when you go to the wine bar, you can order the pizzas off the menu there. The pizzas are really good. The 4 cheese, the margarita is really good. I like that quite a bit. Devar, thank you for the super chat. 13 days till Wonder of the Seas on the ship. Can you pay for daily internet? Yes, you can pay. You can either pre-purchase or purchase an internet package on board the ship or purchase before the cruise. But you could pay for individual 24-hour passes. They're $29.99 for the day, and you could do that if you'd like to. Again, if you pre-purchase a pass, it's going to be cheaper per day. But obviously, if you're saying, Matt, I've seen internet for day 2 and day 7, then yeah, that would still work out better. Must-dos for St. Thomas, St. Martin, Megan's Bay, St. Thomas, and Orient Beach in St. Martin. Do my recommendations there. Susan Lieberman. Susan, it's good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Susan, I'm looking for your message here. I don't see it, Susan. I don't see it, Susan, but thank you for your generosity. Appreciate you. Bill, thank you for the super chat. Any recommendations on good restaurants near the Cozumel port? Yes. I can't use my phone right now because I'm using the internet on my laptop. But there's a great place, one of my favorite restaurants. You can walk there. All right, I'm going to look it up. Bear with me, guys. Tony Diaz, entertain the chat room while I look this place up in Cozumel. It's a great little restaurant. It is steps away. Oh, man, I got to really zoom in here. Actually, you know what? El Cid. It's not El Cid, but it's near El Cid. Okay. It is called Ernesto's. I knew it started like that. So Ernesto's, E-R, like Ernie, Ernesto's. If you do a Google Map search, you'll find it there, Bill. It's like a 5-minute walk, maybe. You get out of the port, you make a left, walk up the street. It's on the water side. It's a little small hole-in-the-wall restaurant. It's right on the water. Fantastic food. They have drinks there as well. They're open in the morning, which is always nice. That's a great spot, and you can walk there from the ship. Next question. Susan, I found your super chat. Thank you again for the super chat earlier, Susan. When we were on Wonder in May, we could not make a reservation for Izumi unless we got a fixed price meal. Is that a rule? No. You can't make a reservation, but you could. I would say this. For the reservations, yeah, they kind of default you into that. And in that situation, Susan, I would tell you don't make a reservation. You don't really need to make a reservation for Izumi sushi until you get on board the ship. It's not very busy on the sushi side. You can certainly wait until you get on board the ship and then make a reservation, and then you're totally fine there. When you book it online, that's when it defaults you to the fixed price option there. So hope that makes sense. Brittany, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Matt, hope all is well with you and your travels. What is the number one thing that you would like to see Royal Caribbean? What is the number one thing that you would like to see Royal Caribbean change that annoys me? Ooh. I've gone down this rabbit hole before, and I would say this. If you're going to have rules or policies, enforce them. And if you're not going to enforce them, then don't have the rules. Classic example of this is the dress code in the main dining room. Either you have a dress code or you don't. And if you're not going to enforce it, then don't have one. I'm okay with both. I really don't care one way or another. But I think it's silly that you have the rules on paper, and then you see someone like show up in their bathing suit and they don't say anything about that. Again, it's not that I have a problem with someone in their bathing suit. I just have a problem with that. Well, there's the rule, and I'm following the rules, and someone else isn't doing it, and they're not enforcing it. So that's my little pet peeve that really annoys me. There's other things, obviously, that are much more important that I might bring up, but that was the first thing I thought about. Miller time again. Thank you for the super chat. Transatlantic on Anthem in April. Is La Corina, Spain worth visiting? I have never been there, so I apologize. I have no idea. Also, is crossing the Bay of Biscay rough? It certainly has a bad reputation, Miller time. I know my friend Emma cruises. She always talks about that place being really, really rough there. There are certain areas of the world that have a reputation. That's one of them. So it could be. So definitely pack some Bo9 or Meclizine just in case. You never know. Let's see here. Next question. Ronnie Bickers. Ronnie, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you. First Sergeant Richard. First of all, First Sergeant, happy belated Veterans Day. Thank you for the super chat. What's the longest cruise you've done? We're scheduled to do 24 straight days of the back-to-back next year on Radiance from British Columbia through to Tampa. Nice. The longest I've done consecutively would be 10 nights. I did that on Mariner of the Seas, 3, a 4, and a 3. But the longest consecutive sailing I've done, like one sailing, would be 9 nights. So 24. You're going to know Radiance quite well by that point. That's great. It's a fun way to travel. Next question is from Jacqueline Stewart. Jacqueline, thank you for the super chat. Is there a place to see when the last time a ship has been to dry dock? No. Royal Caribbean certainly doesn't have that information. Best you could do is to Google it. Usually that information is out there. If you search for Radiance of the Seas refurbishment or Radiance of the Seas dry dock, you'll probably find a little snippet of an article somewhere that references the last time that the ship was in dry dock. But I'm not aware of a central repository, and admittedly, I don't even have that on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Maybe I should, but no, unfortunately not. Let me get a drink of water. Michael Pryor. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Advice best excursion Falmouth. Oh, dude, I don't have a good recommendation. If I were you and I were going there soon, I would look for Hilton Rose Hall. I went there many years ago. It was good when I went there many years ago. I have no idea what it's like today, but that's what I would look for. It was a all-inclusive day pass kind of situation there at a hotel. But unfortunately, I have struck out badly with so many tours in Falmouth that I just don't recommend anything that I've done. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Ronnie, thank you earlier for the super chat. 11 Days of Liberty. I've heard that in the past they actually cut a ship in two and extended it to upgrade the ship. Why haven't they done it again since? Good question. Back then, you're right. Enchantment of the Seas was the last ship to do this to be done, where they took the ship to the dry dock. They literally cut it in half, shoved the new section they built separately, put it in the middle, and fused it all together. Why don't they do this anymore? Because it's not cost effective, number one. Number two, or rather, it's not as cost effective as it is to do a general refurbishment. Because back in those days, the refurbishment cycle wasn't as in depth as it is today. So with a ship like Radiance of the Seas, great example of this, in 2012, Royal Caribbean was like, ooh, rather than cut the ship in half and stretch or do anything like that, it's more cost effective to, take certain areas, and like they added Park Cathay, which I'm sitting in right now, and they added Samba Grill, and they added Izumi, and they would take other venues and gut them and add new areas back in replacement. That served the same purpose effectively, and it was much more cost effective, and that's essentially why. Lucretia, thank you for the super chat. I am only getting the 3 specialty dinners for this cruise along in Harmony. What are your top 3 you would pick? 150 Central Park, Izumi Hibachi, Jamie's. 150 Central Park, Izumi Hibachi, Jamie's Italian, or Giovanni. Yeah, it's Jamie's on Harmony, right? Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's see here. Jeremy wants to know, is there cell phone service on Ovation during Alaska cruise? When you're in port, yes. As soon as your ship leaves the port, no. Greg wants to know, any recommendations for getting from Orlando Airport to Port Canaveral? Lyft or Uber? That's what I would do. Brian Tripoli. Brian, thank you again for the super chat. 27 days till Oasis. Any fresh OJ outside the main dining room? I have not seen it. Have you guys seen juice in the main dining, like freshly squeezed juice for extra cost?
In the main dining room?
It's the main dining room. I was thinking like Windjammer, but have you seen it all? I have not, but I also didn't ask. I remember seeing like on Mariner of the Seas as an example, when you walk in the Windjammer by the bar, there's usually a little machine over there. But I have not seen it, but I also haven't asked either. So maybe. Let's see. Lots of great questions, guys, today. Andy Hall. Andy, thank you for the super chat. Lauren List. Oh, Andy, hold on a second, Lauren. We'll get to your question in a minute. Andy, thank you for the super chat. What areas can I sail out of other than Florida and LA? Galveston, Cape Liberty, New Jersey, Baltimore, occasionally New Orleans, very rare. Occasionally Boston, very rare. Europe, I mean, there's lots of ports in Europe. I'm not sure how far you want to go out on this. Your scope here, San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm going to assume North America, so we'll limit it there. And Lauren Lisco. Lauren, thank you for the super chat. I just booked Odyssey for an Aruba Curacao excursion in March. Never been on that ship or those islands. What do you think of that ship itinerary? Love Odyssey. Love the ABC Islands. They are fantastic. Aruba, go to Palm Beach or Eagle Beach. Go to, in Curacao, walk off the ship in Curacao, walk downtown, explore the area. You can walk right from the ship to the downtown area. It's really cool. And then if you get too hot or bored or both, take a taxi to Mambo Beach, Mambo. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Lots of great questions here. Jose Crespo. Jose, it's good to see you, my friend. My wife and I are Diamond Plus, 5 drinks a day. Is that fine if I get the drink package? Just have my wife use my 5 for alcohol. Yeah, I've done that before, so sure. Eek, a mouse. Does Cocoa Beach Club at Cocoa still have unlimited lobster, or is it like a main dining room now? It's unlimited. I mean, I would say Royal Caribbean will probably tell you that's not the intention of it. But if you ask for a second one, I'm sure they would bring it to you. I'm not aware of any policy that prohibits it. I've never asked either, but I'm usually very, 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 very full. Jen Green in the chat. Jen says, I am definitely not bougie, but hey, Fox signed me up to be my bestie. So there you go. You're just living your best life, Jen. That's all. Let's see here. Next question is from Verify 950. Thank you for the super chat. Are all the Oasis class ships pretty interchangeable? Oasis is a lot cheaper than Wonder. Is the experience the same? Yes. I mean, they're more similar than they're not. The biggest difference between any of the Oasis class ships is the entertainment and the dining. The shows are all different. So that part is not interchangeable. So if it matters to you that Oasis has Cats and Wonder of the Seas has no Broadway show. Number 2 would be dining. Sometimes there's a restaurant on one ship, but not the other one. Giovanni's versus Jamie's versus Samba Grill, something like that. So it just depends on your person. It's not a major difference, obviously, but for some people that is a big deal. So how are we doing on time here? Got about 15 more minutes to go here. All right. The Teresa McChain, who says, hi, Matt. Would be great if Tony Diaz would book either the Icon of the Seas inaugural or the Icon of the Seas group cruise. I really want my friend to be there. Love and hearts, Teresa. Teresa, thank you so much for the super chat. And I couldn't agree more. I would love for our friends to be able to join us for it, especially our good friend, Tony Diaz. Thank you, Teresa. Miranda says, I didn't realize that Disney has 2 different options for dining. Do you get the hibachi with the dining package, or is that something you would just need to pay out of pocket? So for hibachi, I know this is getting confusing. Hibachi is included in the dining package, but there are 2 tiers to hibachi. There's the base menu and there's upgraded menu, and you may have to pay a surcharge at hibachi, even with the dining. It's obviously only about $15 or so, but there is a surcharge. They'll let you know when you try to make the reservation on board. Let's see here. Next question. And Whipple, and thank you for the super chat. 179 days till Mariner. If I buy the dining package, don't want to use it at the time of the cruise, can you cancel when you get on the ship? Probably. I would recommend you don't do this. I would recommend that if you don't want it, just here's what I would do. In this situation, I would actually cancel it now and then book it on board the ship if you want it, as opposed to the other way around. That's probably a safer way to go about it. A cleaner way to go about it as well. So, yeah, my recommendation to you, Anne, is if you're not 100% sure, cancel it. Book it on board the ship if you do want to book it. Just make sure you do it on day 1, Anne. Let's see here. Oh, Teresa said I did 14 days on the Wonder Inaugural. I guess I did do that, huh? Oh, yeah. And I did 14 days on Adventure when cruises restarted. Wow, I totally forgot about that. And I did a 7 and a 4-nighter on Symphony when she. Okay, I lied when I said 10 nights is the longest I've ever spent on a cruise ship. Good point. Yes, it was longer than that. 14 days is the longest I've done. Thank you, Teresa, for remembering my own memories for me. We are on Royal Caribbean's Radiance of the Seas. Just left Costa Maya, going to Cozumel tomorrow morning. Rita, thank you for the super chat, Rita. I don't see a message from you here, but thank you for your super chat. Jessica Devoto. Jessica, thank you for the super chat. Is the Vatican bar included with the drink packages? It is indeed, yes. Not the soda package, but the other 2, yes. Let's see. Jennifer, thank you for the super chat. We have 5 adults at 3 cabins. Can I carry 5 bottles of wine and champagne in my carry-on and keep them all in my room, or does it need to be separated and kept in 3 different rooms? They don't care where you bring, where it's stored. It's just you got 5 adults, so that's 5 bottles of wine. They really don't care. Once you get past security in the terminal, nobody cares at that point where it goes. So, yeah, you can keep it all with yourself. That's totally fine there. Let's see here. Steve wants to know, is there any way to see the main dining room schedule before boarding? In the Royal Caribbean app, about a couple days before your cruise, it will show up in there. So that's your best bet. Greg, can the drink package be shared? No, that's a big no-no. Nope. Greg, thank you for the super chat. And yeah, is there a way to share the drink package? No, definitely not. Not allowed. Scott Bering. Scott, thank you for the super chat. Booked Hideaway Beach for February. 30% off equals $55 each. Nice, dude. That is great. There's some really good deals out there on the Black Friday sale for any of the pre-cruise planner stuff. So definitely reprice things out there, guys, because there are some really good discounts. Maybe not for every sailing, but it definitely is worth checking out. Are steamers allowed on board for clothing? No, that's not allowed. They'll confiscate it once you get on board the ship. Erin, thank you for the super chat. Found with Jamaica excursions. Wow, this is like the 4th question I've got about this in this one broadcast. I have yet to find a good one. All the excursions that I've ever done in Falmouth have been pretty awful. So I don't have any good ones. I'm sorry. I really need to go back there and spend a week and try to figure out exactly what's good to do there. Excuse me. Yordi, thank you for the super chat. Do we need to tell the main dining room wait staff if we're not going to be at dinner at night? Nope. You should. I mean, if you know as a courtesy, hey, we won't be here tomorrow. But if you decide, hey, I want to go book a Zumi, I don't want to go to dinner tonight, you don't have to tell them. They'll figure it out. Let's Let's see here. Next question. Brian Dunn. Brian, thank you for the super chat. First time on Allure in January. Thoughts on Samba Grill? Worth it or not? I just ate there last week. I'm going to say no. And the reason why, it was good food. I did not like the execution of it. Meaning, so in a traditional Brazilian steakhouse, you sit down at the restaurant, you set your table, and they keep bringing you food. The waiters will walk around the room with different skewers of meat, and it's up to you until you flip your card over to no, they'll keep bringing it to you. On Royal's version in Samba Grill, they ask you, what would you like, how would you like your meat cooked? And to make it, obviously more, so there's less waste. But the problem is the pacing is really off, in my opinion. So there's a lot of downtime in between dishes. So you don't get to it's not quite the same experience. And I think it's actually not as good. I understand why they do that, because they want to not have food waste, and they want to make sure that they're delivering, when they bring out filet, that it's you like the way that you like it. The problem though is listen, Brazilian steakhouses, there's a model for it. There's a reason there's a model for it. And when you have they bring you your one piece of meat and you start eating that and you're waiting around for the next one, I think it just doesn't jive as much. As an example, when we were there, they brought out all the side dishes, and they brought out, it's broccolini, and it was mushrooms, and it was sweet potato, mashed potatoes, and it was great. But by the time the first meat came out, those side dishes were already cold. Whereas in a traditional Brazilian steakhouse, we would have already had the meats going around. So I think I understand why they do it, but it just didn't jive with me. So I would say, I think there are better choices on Allure, quite frankly. If you got, it's probably still, it's nice to try it and change it up, but I just didn't love it. So yeah. Let's see here. Next question is from Cape Cod Ken. Can you buy insurance if you were gifted a cruise? Really only care about medical evacuation? Yes. So you may not be able to, I don't know, you can still probably book with the cruise line, but don't forget, you can book your travel insurance through third parties. And I do this all the time. I don't buy my travel insurance through Royal Caribbean. I book it through a third party. So there's nothing stopping you from buying it from another place. So yes, you can. Let's see here. Kane T. Hill, thank you for the super chat. What can I expect on Explore the Seas Christmas cruise? Decorations. If you're out cruising over Christmas, decorations around the ship. A special menu in the main dining room on Christmas Day. There will be special events held in the cruise. You'll see them in the app in the Cruise Compass. It'll have things like you can meet Santa Claus. There's gift exchange, caroling, so things like that nature. Danny DiMatteo, Danny, thank you, Danny. I can't click on your. There it is, Danny. Thank you, Danny, for your super chat. Always appreciate it, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seth Hartfield, Seth, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you. By the way, going back to the Falmouth question, Jessica recommends in Falmouth the high tea at the Good Hope Estate. So there you go. I never tried it, but maybe Jessica is onto something there. Who are you giving the super chat? Seth. Seth, thank you again for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Milk Dude wants to know, will the Royal Caribbean add more Black Friday deals? Probably not. The way the Royal Caribbean usually operates is when a sale like this, Black Friday, they roll out the sale and it is what it is. They'll call it different things. They'll change the name, like the Black Friday sale becomes the Cyber Monday sale. It's usually the same thing. That being said, it's worth trying, checking out and seeing it repricing in case, but I personally would not expect a difference in the price. Again, traditionally, the Black Friday sale goes, that's the Black Friday sale. Question from CJ CB81. What age do kids lose their parents' Crown and Anchor Society benefits? And will the cruises they went on as kids count for them as an adult? Yes. So they don't lose their status. Let's assume that you're Diamond as an adult. And your kids have never been on a cruise before, right? You went on all your cruises, then you had kids. When they turn 18, your kids will always have Diamond status. But their point total will be 0. So for them to move up from Diamond to Diamond Plus, they need to cruise enough on their own to reach that next threshold. So a more realistic scenario is, let's say they're Diamond because of you, but they've only cruised 14 nights. Their point total will be 14. So they would need to accrue enough points to reach Diamond Plus, if that makes sense. So they never lose their status, which is great, but they need to cruise enough to be able to move up to the next tier on their own. Bless you. JD, thank you for the super chat. Just got off Quantum of the Seas, first Australian sailing on the season. Apparently 20 people detained, arrested per night. Is this normal? You Aussies, I mean, your entire country is based on convicts, right? So I don't know. Maybe that is normal for you guys. Joking. Sorry. No, it's not normal, but, you know, there are people that do bad things everywhere. But no, it's not normal. Thank you for the super chat, JD. Kim, thank you for the super chat. Anthem of the Season, December 31st. What's a good price at the Cocoa Beach Club? It's like $240 right now. Kim, that's pretty much what it's going to be. It doesn't matter what a good price is because it's irrelevant. Meaning, like, if someone else pays for got $100 cheaper, there's no price matching. There's no option for you to or guarantee that price that you'll see will ever come down to that price. Roller Company uses dynamic pricing. So long story short is this is the price. And in fact, you're on a holiday sailing. I highly doubt it will go down much more, if any at all. So it probably is going to be the price you're going to see. So yeah, that's why some people it's irrelevant with a good price was, well, I paid $75 back in 2020, but that was 3 years ago. Like everything, it has no bearing on what the price is today. And as you're probably discovering, prices for things like the Cocoa Beach Club have gone up quite a bit. So if you want to go, I'm going to guess that's going to be the price for your sailing. And don't forget, Kim, one more thing. Let's say you book it today, because I told you should. And then tomorrow, or anytime between now and December 31st, the price goes down. You can always cancel and rebook it. So there's no harm in booking it now, locking in the price, and then if there's a better price later on, canceling and rebooking and take advantage of the lower price. So I hope that makes sense. We're running out of time here, guys. Already an hour. Holy smokes. Nicholas, thank you for the super chat. 20 days of Oasis Solo on my last cruise on Freedom. Any must-dos on board? See the shows. The shows in the theater, in the Aqua Theater, and Studio B are worth seeing every single time. They're really, really good. Aqua 80s alone. Best Aqua show on any Royal Caribbean ship. That music will be stuck in your head for at least a week. And then, of course, the dining is fantastic. So get as much of that as you possibly can. Joshua, can I say no to room service? Almost like a do not disturb sign at a hotel. Well, if you don't order room service, you won't get room service. If you mean I think probably what you mean is sometimes you get those strawberries delivered to your room and you're like, I don't know who sent this to me. There is a do not disturb sign. Although day 2 of this cruise, I put it up there and they still knocked on the door. And I was like, I don't think you saw the sign. But theoretically, if you put up the do not disturb sign, they're not supposed to come in and do that. So give that a try. Seth, thank you for the super chat. Matt, I couldn't get my message to add earlier, but can you please say hi to my girlfriend, Kayla? We're huge fans. Love when you say Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Kayla, hello from Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. AD, thank you for the super chat, AD. Angie, how are you, Angie? How are you enjoying Radiance? It's a great ship. I love Radiance of the Seas. There's not the Roll Tide crowd on here, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but having a great time, Angie. And it's a fun show. I love the Radiance class. Bomboy23, thank you for the super chat. First time commenter, welcome. Random question, do you work for Royal Caribbean? I do not. I have no affiliation with Royal Caribbean whatsoever. I just yammer on and on and on about them, but no affiliation with the company at all. I'm not a travel agent either, before you ask me that. Chris Stell, Chris, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. I don't see a message from you, but thank you so much. And Teresa Harrison, thank you for the super chat. Heard North Star is free on port days. Is that true? Yes. When your ship is in port, it's free. When your ship's out to the ocean, it costs money. So there you go. And JD, thank you for the super chat. Love the new printer stand, by the way. Yeah, it's great. No one's asked me, this is the first comment about the printer all day. So, yeah. Chris, thank you for the super chat earlier. I saw your message now. No question, just thanks. Well, I appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to go enjoy my time on Radiance here. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you all our super chatters. We have a nice little audience here. First time we've ever had an audience. All right, there you go. So nice little audience. First time I've ever had an audience of more than like 2 people. There you go. Oh, it's Della. Right. And then over here, there you go. So we got some friends here, which is great. I love that. Tony, last time I did. Now the camera's all messed up. That's fine. When I did a live last week, Tony Diaz was here, and then he ran away. So this is nice to have some friends who stayed the entire broadcast. So.
Are you on? Are you on still?
We're on still, yes.
We watched you, and we knew you were coming on the 5th.
Oh, good.
When I heard your voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Well, on that note, guys, we're going to head on out of here. There's plenty of fun left on Radiance. I'm going to do that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. We'll be live next week. Where am I next week? Celebrity. We'll be on Celebrity Apex the first time. I'll do a live broadcast on that show. Internet permitting, but I'm pretty sure they have Starlink as well. So should be good. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun like book another cruise. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.